I was born in Barrington, Illinois, like a northwest suburb of Chicago.
Okay.
And so I was born being a Cubs fan. It wasn't a choice. And I was raised out there with all my extended family until I was about 7 years old. Then my dad moved our family out to Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
And I stayed there until I moved here after college.
Beautiful country out there.
Yeah, oh, it's gorgeous. I would love it.
All right. Fond memories of growing up?
Very, yeah, very. It was a little tumultuous moving from Chicago to Boulder when I was 7. I was really tight with my cousins. So my mom said that I think I asked for about 5 years when we were going to be going home.
Nice.
Yeah, but I have really fond memories of growing up in Colorado. I had a lot of really great close friends, and I was the kid that was involved in everything. That I really wanted to be a part of everything, and so I did a lot of activities. You name it, I tried it when I was a kid, and because of that, I think I made a lot more friends than I would have had I just kind of focused on one thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you get a chance to go out and still visit? You still have some of the same childhood friends?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely have a lot of the same childhood friends, and most of them are still in Colorado.
Okay.
And my wife we went to high school together.
Oh wow.
And so her parents live about 15 minutes from my parents in Colorado. So it's great. We have 2 kids now, and we visit often, a couple times a year, and it's nice to be able to see all of the extended family.
Okay, so you've mentioned family several times, so I ask you, do you think that family is important, unimportant to a child's upbringing, being close?
I think that a strong role model and a strong upbringing is essential for a kid, especially within the first 10 years of life. But I mean, let's be honest, it's like every day of your life, family is important. Whether it's, I learned so much from my kids. The kids that are my little 4-year-old boy who's looking at the world, learning things,
Mm-hmm.
and he makes these observations about day-to-day life, and I go, oh wow, that's true, buddy. I don't stop and think of the basics sometimes. I'm too smart for that.
But kids get you to do that.
It's pretty great. Yeah, it is. But I think that in the first 5 years of life, the formative years when we're learning what our learning pathways are, mm-hmm. even our neural pathways, how our brain acquires knowledge, how we learn things, whether we're an oral learner, whether we're a visual learner. That's all developed in the first 5 years of life, and having a parent or a group of parents or a set of parents there to guide a child along and give options and open doors, that's incredibly essential.
All right.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking with Brian, aka Jimmy Palmer from NCIS. So, Brian, let's move on then to school. Mm-hmm. Particularly the beginning of school, kindergarten, first, second, third. Any memories that you have that stand out, even that early?
Yeah, definitely. I went to Montessori school when I was very young. My aunt was a Montessori teacher. Okay. And there's a heavy emphasis on community-based learning in Montessori. So I really loved that. I love learning that you're stronger at certain things than others. Mm-hmm. It takes away the emphasis that, you need to work on that, you're not good at it. Okay. It just says, well, why don't you ask Johnny to help you out with that? And so you learn from a peer, and then you learn that when you don't know something, all that you need to do is ask to learn how to do it. And then likewise, you can help teach Johnny, like I know how to tie my shoes, and you know how to, do addition better than I do, so let's trade our knowledge and let's support one another, prop each other up. And, I really loved that foundation that it gave me, and that was really early. That was, like 5 years old or something like that, 4 or 5.
Good. Okay, so we got a fan of school.
I got a fan. Yeah, I'm a big fan of school.
Okay.
Definitely love it.
So, do you have any teachers that you remember? So we can even move up if you want to.
Sure. Yeah. I think there are several teachers in high school that really supported me and what I wanted to do. And like I said, at the time, I wanted to do everything. I was a part of student council. I was a part of the track team, golf team. I played baseball. I played.
Okay.
I was in drama and theater. Did forensics. A lot of different stuff. Senior class president.
My goodness.
It was a blast. And so, like I said, I I was a big fan of casting a wide net.
Okay.
Because, and eventually, as I honed in on I want to be an actor, you realize that art is an imitation of life, and you can't really imitate life if you're not living it.
Uh-huh.
You have to experience as many things as possible to fill yourself out as an artist. And a person that helped me out a lot in that was my high school drama teacher, Terry Berger.
Okay.
She ensured that me and my friends had fun while we were doing the plays that we were doing. Well, we all built all the sets together. We learned, we helped with costumes when we could, and I got to assistant direct and all that sort of stuff while I was there. And she was very, very supportive, especially when I said, I'm on the track team and I got to miss a rehearsal here and there to go to a meet and all that sort of thing. And she said, go do it. You're not in a 9-to-5 job. Let's make sure that you have as many opportunities as possible. And she was very supportive.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is with you, I'll say, being the be-all, do-all individual that you were, you have kids that get labeled, some good labels, some bad labels. If I were to go back and ask either some of your classmates, some of your friends,
Right.
class clown, bully, nerd,
Let's see.
jock,
Yeah.
thespian,
Big, huge bully. No, my wife, who went to school with me, she always says that in high school I didn't have any enemies because I traveled in all the different crowds. You know what I mean? Like I saw strengths in all these different kids. They just happened to be different strengths. You know what I mean? And I think when you walk and you put yourself in someone else's position, you can't help but make friends by doing so, because that's the core of empathy, is to say who are you and what do, what do you like to do, and you put yourself in their position. They see that you're relating to them and you're making an effort, you're making an attempt, and that's something I think is, to be frank, is really lost right now. Is that in school we don't teach empathy, and in a fast-paced culture of iPhones and iPads and now internet, everything is available at all times. People don't have patience and they don't have empathy. You're not forced to say, how did that thing make me feel on a comment board or something? Like when I may have said something nasty to someone else on a social media thing, but it doesn't matter. I don't really know them.
right?
And I think that transcends and it carries over to day-to-day life. And the roots of what empathy is and how kids relate to one another can be lost a little bit. Especially when you have parents that are doing this constantly and saying, one second, no, it's gonna, I'm there in a second, hold on. Yeah, what is it? I mean, they'll get to their kid, but their kid just learned that damn little email was more important than they were.
Right.
And there's a massive breakdown in empathy at that moment. And so you wonder why then you go, little kid goes to school and he's pushing down people, he's pushing them over. It's like, well, that's the only way I can get someone to pay attention to me.
So